I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video from Chelsea fans, but do you know what? I don't care. This absolutely stinks. I hate this. Let me get this out of the way right from the start of this video. I wanted Mudryk at Arsenal. Not for the money that was being rumoured. I don't think he's anywhere near worth 80, 90, let alone 100 million euros, which seemingly is the price that Chelsea are about to pay to hijack the deal from Arsenal. But I wanted him because he is going to be a superb player. It doesn't take an expert in football to see he has something special about him. But like I just said, I just have not been comfortable with the price. Let's all be honest, okay? This is ludicrous money for a player that hasn't even played more than 30 top-level games. And when I say top-level, I mean top European League or Champions League or maybe even a Europa League, World Cup, Euro, whatever, just top-level football. 100 million euros, and it absolutely reeks of desperation from a disgusting club in London. I cannot tell you how sick I am of this transfer window. And to be fair, this season so far with Chelsea's transfer business, it makes no sense. They don't seem like they have a plan. Todd Boehly is playing Football Manager. They're just throwing money anywhere. You don't even need a scouting network, it seems. You just go ahead and find out who the other teams, other rivals of yours, who are they looking at? Oh, Arsenal want a player called Mudryk. Let's have a little search. Oh, he's quite well rated on FIFA. Sign him. Let's throw 100 million in. Let's just beat Arsenal to it. There's no reason for Chelsea to be paying 100 million euros for this player. It makes no sense. There is absolutely no way Todd Boehly or other staff at Chelsea, I bet you even Potter had no clue of who Mudryk was 18 months ago to 2 years ago. Oh, it stinks. I hate it, man. I absolutely hate it. I think if Arsenal were able to get this deal done for 70 million with maybe 10, 15 in add-ons, it's a high-risk move, but for a player that so clearly wants to join. Everyone can see it over the last few months, last few weeks for sure. He has been twerking to join Arsenal Football Club. Just go on his social medias, leaving likes, posting about Arteta. He wanted to join Arsenal so bad. Doing interviews with Zinchenko's wife, saying he would only play for Arsenal. Or maybe Real Madrid. Let's be honest, mate. Calm it down a little bit. You're not that level yet. He's not even at the level of a top Premier League team. Yet. I think he will. He will become, and that's what's annoying me the most. So Chelsea have been interested, and I say interested for a few weeks, lightly, and reportedly, Mudryk has said no, not interested in joining Chelsea whatsoever. Personal terms have been agreed with Arsenal for weeks. It has just been down to the Arsenal board and Shakhtar to come together and get a price that they both agree on and just get the deal done. And I've been so confident that it would get done. And Chelsea have effectively overpaid massively to sign a player that doesn't even want to play for them. Their team is already full of players like that. You're telling me that Mudryk, a player that supposedly has, well, you can see a huge ceiling. He's got a massive potential. You're telling me that the project at Arsenal right now, to join a club that's potentially going to win the Premier League, absolutely going to get Champions League. We have a manager, one of the youngest managers in world football that's doing so well at the moment. We have everything going for us right now. Arsenal is a very, very exciting prospect for a young player. And then you look at Chelsea, who are sitting 10th in the league. They are buying players, throwing money at them like it's paper money, like it's monopoly money, seemingly with no real transfer policy, no real guide from the board. It's a mess. It's a mess of a club right now. How is that more attractive? I'll tell you something, guys. It's not. Going to Chelsea over Arsenal right now makes no sense. One thing, money. And I'm telling you, Mudryk received one hell of an offer. To make him go like that and switch from Arsenal to Chelsea, I'm talking they doubled his wage that Arsenal offered. They threw money at him and said, look, join Chelsea. And you know what? Fair play to Mudryk, because He is signing a 7-year contract. 7? What? 7-year contract. He has set up his life, his parents' lives, his grandparents' lives, his grandkids, his future grandkids after that. He has set up his whole entire family for life by signing this contract. And he would have done very well with an Arsenal contract as well. And you know what? It's very difficult to blame him. I can't blame him. Okay, I am so loyal to YouTube, but if a different YouTube, a different website came up and offered double the money, it's going to make you think, isn't it? And I get it, but it just stinks from a Chelsea perspective. What are you doing here? What is the idea behind this? You've just paid an incredible amount of money for João Felix. He's going back in the summer, so I guess you could argue that that's not a permanent deal, so you shouldn't include that. They're probably going to be selling a few players in the summer. Maybe Mudryk is going to be the future of their club. Maybe he is the new Eden Hazard. But it just reeks. It's desperation. I hate that football club so much. It's disgusting. It really is. Arsenal were paying too much as it was, but at least you could tell the player really wanted it. Arteta has been a fan of Mudryk's for over a year, 2 years. It's been reported that he's been following him for a long time and he really wants him. It was meant to be, and it just hasn't happened because a club like Chelsea can just come in and offer a boatload of money and steal the player. And do you know what? You know, they've tweeted out, and again, it's kind of like a fair play situation, isn't it? I mean, oh, it stinks. It really does. I'm so disappointed that this has happened. And you've got to wonder what's going on at Arsenal right now, where I heard that we went up to 90 million, and maybe that was the absolute maximum that we were willing to agree on. But for the sake of 10 million more, we've lost out on a potential player that could go on and do incredible things, win the Ballon d'Or, whatever. Are we going to regret this decision? Maybe not. But maybe we will. Imagine if he plays for Chelsea for the rest of this season, they get into the top 4, which, you know, could still happen. Absolutely, it could still happen. And he ends up playing out of this world, scoring 10, getting 8 assists, and putting in solid 8 out of 10 performances week in, week out, scoring against Arsenal at the Emirates, things like that. Imagine if that happens. For the sake of 10 million? Really? I'm pretty sure we could have found that money. But do you know what? One positive thing right now that I can think of is the fact that we've clearly got cash. And I don't like the fact that the world knows that. You know that any club that Arsenal approach now, they could be saying, well, look, you were looking to spend almost 100 million on Mudryk. Why won't you pay up for this player and this player, this player? That kind of sucks. And that's why I hate how transfers get leaks. This should have been completely quiet, but obviously it's impossible these days. It's a good thing that Arsenal have cash. It's not a good thing that everyone seems to know now. It shows that, once again, other clubs still have more firepower. They have more, I don't want to use the word pull, because ultimately Chelsea have just offered a bigger bag. That's literally it. They've got more money behind them. Where's FFP in all this? How is this possible? You're looking at Chelsea spending close to 500 million in 6 months. In 2 transfer windows, almost 500 million. They're still apparently looking at Mudryk. I don't understand it. Just a few weeks ago, Enzo Fernandez was the target. Apparently, they just weren't willing to pay the 120 million release clause because it was all in one. They want to structure it. This is not sustainable for Chelsea Football Club. They have to get in trouble at some point for spending all of this money. And yes, I'm salty. Yes, I'm jealous. I hate this. I wanted him at Arsenal. I really did. And it really made sense because both parties really wanted it. So I'm hoping that Arsenal never deal with Shakhtar. I really do. It's been an absolute tragic saga, isn't it? I'm so sick of it. I'm, in a way, relieved it's over. I'm just absolutely gutted. But do you know what? Maybe we've dodged a bullet. Who do we go for instead? Who's plan B? I'm thinking Arsenal, excuse me, Arsenal will have a couple of players that were backup choices, but they're not Mudryk. It's not who Arteta wants. I'm hearing Trossard is going to be leaving Brighton for a cut price. That could be a very good bet. Mitoma, another player at Brighton. This guy was in university 3 years ago. He's burst onto the scene. I think he's 25, though. It's not like he's a super young player, but he looks to be a great player. I'm hearing Rafinha hasn't worked out at Barcelona. Arsenal still interested. I'm even seeing Pepe. Oh, he's having a good season. Maybe we could recall him. Are you joking? No chance. Madueke, is that a shout? You know, they've stolen Mudryk. Why don't we try and get Madueke? If we so badly need a winger, which I still don't actually necessarily believe is what we desperately need. I'm sure we need a winger. Yeah, of course, but we don't need it more than a DM. Maybe plan B was to now shift the focus into midfield. We've just seen Danilo is signing for Nottingham Forest, the young Brazilian player that apparently Arteta and Arsenal have been looking into for years now, from Palmeiras, I think it is, and he's gone. Are we going to be spending this huge amount of money on a midfielder instead? Are we going to go for a Declan Rice in the summer? Because part of me feels like, you know, if we have dodged a bullet here and Mudryk isn't going to be a superstar, and we've avoided spending almost 100 million euros on a player that didn't work out for us, similar to the Pepe deal, maybe the investment in other players is going to be worthwhile. It just stinks, though. I know this is coming off as just an Arsenal fan being upset with the fact that a bigger, well, not a bigger club, but a richer club for sure, and a bigger club over the last 2 decades for sure, have come in, swooped in, and offered a boatload more money. And it was as simple as they sat around a desk, thought, yeah, look, if we let Arsenal have him, it's not great. You know, we're already behind them this season. We're in a bit of a pickle at the moment. They're looking at spending 80, 90. Yeah, just chuck in 100 million. Yeah, just double the wage offer. Like, I just hate that. It stinks. There's just no... There's no direction from the Chelsea board, it seems. That they're just buying whoever they want. It is quite literally a takeover on FIFA career mode, and they've just signed whoever they want. And, they're not even finished yet. I hope that club rots. I hope they struggle to climb the table. But the reality is, with João Felix, with Mudryk coming in, they are going to be a better side. There's no doubt about it. And do you know what? I will sit here and be completely honest, Chelsea fans. I don't blame you if you're excited for Mudryk, but I know for a fact that most Chelsea fans will be watching this unfold tonight and thinking, what? Why? Why are we doing this? They've got so many other areas they need to improve in. They're just doing this to one-up Arsenal, if anything, and it just smells of desperation. And that's exactly what it is. Rant over, I think. Mudryk, I wanted you. I don't know what else to say other than I think you've made a mistake, but maybe it wasn't up to you in the end, and maybe in a year or two you are going to get a big move to Madrid, who knows, but you should have joined Arsenal.